Good night, everyone. Tonight, God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Irma J. Spiritual Divine. I'm here to give you a word on tonight, and the topic gonna be Moses' sister. She her brother Shab. I don't know why I'm trying to without my glasses on. Okay, we're talking about Moses' sisters and her brother Shab. Okay, this is a story about Miriam, and she is the oldest sister of Moses and Aaron. Now she was a prophet and the first appeared in the book of Esther. Now, Miriam was a prophecy who trusted God, and she also led the Israelite women and praised and worshiped God for his deliverance. Now, after he departed the Red Sea, Miriam watched. Now, this is sister. Now, you remember when Moses, when the mama put the baby in the basket in the river, when Pharaoh's daughter found the baby. So the sister watched from the bank of the river. Now she saw when Pharaoh's daughter found her brother Moses was a Hebrew and she was an Egyptian woman. But she looked on the child with compassion and she threw him from the water. Miriam was a young girl at that time. She had courage and she approached Pharaoh's daughter and asked her if she needed help. Now she didn't told her she was a baby's sister. She just approached the girl and asked her if she needed help. Now that was a young girl, wanted to ask if someone needed help, because she knew that was her brother. But God had favor on all three of the children, Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, with extraordinary gifts. Tell me all three of them had gifts. Years later, Moses and Aaron and the sister formed the leadership team that led the Israelite across the desert. Miriam was clearly, a leader, because you remember she's a prophecy. So I'm gonna read here from Exodus 15, verse 20. When Pharaoh heard his carriers and herdsmen went into the sea, the Lord brought the waters of the sea back over them. But the Israelites walked through the sea on dry ground. And then Moses' sister of prophecy, Aaron's sister, took a tambourine in her hand, and all the women followed her with tambourines and dancing. Now, Maria, she was always dancing, and they're gonna be memories right there, cause she was always dancing. She the one that led the women of Israelite. While Moses had everybody else, she was leading the Israelite, the ladies. So now Miriam she was good what she did. A prophecy that led the women. Now she was a good prophecy. So she gonna be the shadow. She gonna be her brother's shadow. Because she's a prophecy and she is good what she do. Now the sister Aaron challenged Moses in leadership. So now she feel like she could do Moses' job. Because she good what she do now. But Moses was chosen by God. But she want Moses' spot. So she want to challenge Moses' leadership. Also start monitoring him of his mistakes. And sometimes people are like that. They'll be quick to monitor your mistakes. Maria she was good. She was good what she do, and she started monitoring Moses. Monitoring all the mistakes that he was making. She thought she could do it better. And that's how it is. They will be quick to monitor your mistake because they really want your spot. Because she her brother's child. And she was her brother's child. So people always like and think that they could do the job better. But she was good what she do. But Moses was God's choice. It doesn't matter how good she was. Moses was chosen by God. And the sister and Aaron had to respect God's choice. But we're going to see down the line that they didn't want to respect God's choice. And they want to try to question God. So Miriam was angry that God chose Moses. He would start questioning God. So Miriam became a leper. She had leprosy in an instant. Her punishment brought everything back into proper perspective. Because God chose Moses, and Moses was the leader. Before Moses was born, God already knew He wanted Moses to lead the Israelites from slavery. But the sister, by she being so good, what she do? She just thought she can do Moses' job. But it was up to God because God had chose Moses. And by she wanted to question God, she was that angry that she wanted to question God of why she wasn't chosen. And she, until she turned into a leprosy. That was her punishment, and she died. So God's election can be contested. Our lives are His to spend as He chooses. So Miriam helped and lead the women of Israelite. And they were standing around while she had leprosy. Because she was there. Because she led all the women. She led all the ladies. So then they were standing around waiting on her, but God hadn't turned her to a leper. She had leprosy. So the people were waiting, and it said she made a mistake by questioning God. And that was her mistake. That was her punishment. She got so angry, and she felt like she wanted to question God. She was just sitting around monitoring Moses, monitoring all the mistakes that he made. But God picked things in His unique way. Moses would pick. God found Moses when he was in his mama's womb, so He already knew what He wanted Moses to do. And she started monitoring his mistakes because she figured if he constantly making mistakes and she brings it to his attention, she feel like she'll worm her way into his spot. And that's how some people are. They will monitor your mistakes, to get you out the way. So we see Miriam died. We see that the people remember her courage and strength. Because she led the people. They did love her. She was a good leader, leading the women. Had them dancing and everything. But long after her death, the story of her dancing became a treasury collector. Mirror. They were going to be a mirror. Her dancing with the Israelites, with all the ladies. So we see Miriam died due to question God of why He picked Moses, and God gave her leprosy. So the sister was good, but she wanted to be in charge. She wanted to be in charge. She even started monitoring Moses' mistake. But yes, they will always watch your mistake. So so the sister was good. So don't get us wrong. She was good what she did. She was a prophet. And sometimes when you good like that and you monitor someone that making a mistake, sometimes it can be difficult. It was kind of difficult for her to just sit back, and watch Moses make a mistake. It was difficult for a gifted woman to stand back and let others be in charge, especially when it's someone she knows, which was her brother, as well as her brother Moses. She was her brother's child. Moses was a leader. She also was a leader, leading the ladies. But God had chosen Moses to be the leader over all, and she was just helping Moses out. So but she was already good what she do as a leader. She also was a prophet. So it was difficult for her to just sit back and watch somebody else be in charge, so she wind up start monitoring mistake. And she figured she bring that to God's attention, God will change His mind. But God don't change His mind who He chose. And He let Moses finish delivering the Israelites. Now He didn't make it to the promised land, because he made a mistake that was towards God, and that's what had messed him up. But it is vital to understand God's unique call on each life. Everyone have a unique calling. Everyone have a unique gift. and God make those churches when He created us in our mother womb. He made all of the different gifts. So everyone is unique. So there is a place, a time, and a purpose given to each of us. They're just like God. God loved all three of them. God had give all three of them gifts. That's why they all was good. Because God gave all of them gifts. So no one have to be jealous of no one because He gave all three of them gifts. He loved it all three of them. You know. So but Miriam, she just got so angry. She got so angry because it was hard. It was hard for her to just sit back and just watch Moses being charged, and also start monitoring his mistakes. So we'll be the most content in a church that God affirmed. So we see when they told Lot to do not look back, she looked back, and God turned into a pillar of salt. So we see that Miriam got so angry, so she started questioning God, and we see she turned to lepers. She had lepers in an instant. So she was her brother's child. She wanted to be in charge. She wanted to be over Moses. She wanted Moses to take the back seat. And she wanted to be in charge. It was so hard for her to just sit back and watch Moses be in charge because she's saying she was gooder than Moses. And she probably was. But Moses was God's church. And she didn't want to respect it. Even had Aaron, her other brothers, to come with her to start challenging Moses on the things in the churches that he was making, saying he was doing it wrong. So he was in charge, and she just started monitoring his mistakes, and stuff like that, and try to bring it to God's attention. Try to question God, why she's not in charge. She felt like, she was better than Moses, and she probably was, but God had chose Moses before he was born, so God don't go back on his word. Moses, who he wanted to release the Israelite, and Moses did that. He did a good job. Sometimes you're not going to be perfect when you're in charge. You're not going to be perfect. You're human. You're going to make mistakes. So Moses, he got him that close to the promised land. He got that close to the promised land. And the mistake he made was towards God. He gave him instruction to do something with the water. But other than that, his job was to release the Israelites from slavery. He did. He released them from slavery. Even though he didn't make it to the promised land, but he still did his part, what God had wanted him to do. And all three of them is good. God had given all three of the children a gift. And see, sometimes you have to do what your gift wants you to do. Because God gives everybody a gift. Everybody is unique. And so she good what she do. But she didn't want to accept her gift and just continue doing what she was doing, because she was leading the Israelite, the ladies. But I guess she wasn't satisfied just doing that, but she was her brother's child, and she wanted her brother's spot so bad. She started monitoring his mistakes to bring it to God's attention, and that's how it is. They'll monitor your mistakes, bring to somebody's attention to move you out the way. But she was good what she do, but she didn't want to accept. She didn't want to accept her greatness. All three of them were great. But she didn't want to accept on her only greatness. She wanted to be in Moses' spot. But God had chose Moses. And she should have never questioned God. You want to question God about the church that he made with Moses. So she had leprosy and she died. So this story about everyone have a gift. Everyone have a gift. Everybody good in what they do. So you don't have to step on nobody's toes. And that was her own brother. And she hated just sit in the back seat and let Moses be in charge. She had to keep on interrupting and try to tell Moses what to do. Until she got to a point, never mind to his mistakes. So I could bring to God attention and ask him why she's not in charge, that she's good. Yeah, she was good. But God had chose Moses before Moses was born. And Moses did a good job. He got the Israelite from slavery. That was his purpose was. God said, I need you to go get the Israelite from slavery. He did that. He did that. So as he going to the promised land, he got halfway there. He was able to see it. God took him on top of the mountain. He was able to see it. So he got that close to it. So I hope this all the word I have for you on today. And remember, all of us are unique. All of us have gifts. So we don't have to be a shadow of no one. She was her brother's shadow because she wanted everything her brother had. All three of them were blessed by God. All three of them had gifts. All three of them was unique. But she just wanted more. She wanted more attention. She wanted to be in charge. She didn't want Moses to be in charge. So she got to a point that she wanted to question God. She wanted to question God. Why this and why that? And so God turned into her left, but let her know you can't question God. So one of the ladies of Israelites say the mistake that she made was questioning God. So you can't question God. What she know now, she depart. So I hope y'all have a blessed night, and I'll see y'all on the next video.